Elevate your new week, fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world events. Hook up to SSM Monday program Between the Lines. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Yes, another day, another week, beautiful week here. Week starts here in Milan, Italy. You are welcome, viewers around the world. You are welcome. My name is Mark Godwin, Juan, and I'm here in Milan. Today is the week start of our news update program, Between the Lines. Between the Lines is that news starter where we bring all that's happened through the weekend, news making round at the beginning of the week, and we put them all together. Like we say, in a world where news flies around every minute, you need that ability to relate and connect with what matters, because too many news these days. So Mark Godwin is here in the studio and joining me far away from the other end. Who's that? Who's the man?
Good evening. My name is Dr. Olufemi Obakaronwi. Good evening, Nigerians in diaspora. Good evening, my brother Mark. Good evening, Nigerians and citizens of the world. You are welcome to the authentic platform SSM News Echo Monday Between the Lines.
Echo Monday Between the Lines. Dr. Femi, your face is shining. Dr. Femi, you've been away for 2 weeks now. You said you were in a camp, the youth camp there in Scotland, enjoying. Dr. Femi, I know the fun you'll be having. It's fun. I used to go to those camps back in the days. We call it SCP, Summer Educational Program, right there in Scotland. And, it's just fun. You learn skills, get involved in sports, do a lot of things, learn speech making.
It was a key skill acquisition program for youth. But we went to Wales this time around, and it was actually funded and sponsored by the Redeemed Christian Church of God, United Kingdom. So it was a fantastic experience. We were 500 youths from all over
from all corners of the world. Wow, nice. You're welcome, big man. You're welcome. Also joining us from the other end. Okay, he's still connecting. But Dr. Femi, let's hit it. Let's hit it. The former Vice President, Abubakar Atiku, is still increasing on his stand on that plan of going back to subsidy. He says if he gets power. I know how you say, but he's defending that statement. He's saying that the present government is not helping the masses. Rather, they are taking from the poor and giving to the rich people already. So this is how he has seen it. I know, when you're a presidential candidate like this and it's campaign season, you don't just make a buffoon of yourself by saying anything. So he probably have sat down with some experts, financial expert, and they've looked at this. But what's your view, my man? What do you say? Talk.
I will just give you a little analysis on this. In my village in Abeokuta, in Abeokuta called Owodi, the people in my village are around about 40 to 60 people, which is a small village. And also, if you go the outskirts of my town, you get about 200 or 350 people there. They live in the village. They hardly travel except there's a function in Abeokuta. And therefore, they do not have any use of petrol in the course of those maybe 3-6 months. So therefore, there is no subsidy for those set of people. So no subsidy whatsoever. Now, I'll now take 1 or 2 people who are multimillionaire, who lives in Lekki on VI, who has 10, 12 cars in their garage. And each of the garage will fill up about 10,000 to 100,000, so 100,000 naira per liter per car to fill. That's 1 million naira in a month. If we bring back subsidy, we'll be subsidizing the lifestyle of those rich people at the expense of the people in my village. So who is funding whose lifestyle? We are funding the lifestyle of a rich who has generators, who has cars more than 1, 4, 5 cars, who has generating that. What this government is subsidizing is education, which will develop a nation in the future, subsidizing subsidizing healthcare, which create long span for the people. For example, the NEL fund, money that has not been even recovered from who are stolen, have been put in NEL fund. When you educate a nation, you build a future. But you are talking about giving them money for petrol. For example, I was explaining something to somebody, and I said a family that has 3 children in the university, and the government is giving them NEL fund. And the NEL fund, assuming, yes, let's give it to the fact that they are the money they're giving is loan. But when they finish university, there's a sense of responsibility that will develop their credit worthiness when they start paying the money back. Now let's go back to the little amount they give.
Sorry, I'm not holding you up.
Just welcome, Sir George.
Yes, yes. Let's welcome. Let's also welcome. We have some good number of people watching also. Viewers, you're welcome. Between the Lines, this 24th day of August, 2026. It would be nice also. We have viewers joining the conversation. These are issues that matters to all of us, Nigerians, and Nigerians in the diaspora too.
So let me quickly finish what I was saying there. So the family of 3 that get 20,000 naira every month. 20,000 naira every month, we give that family for the 20 times 12, we give us 120,000 naira for that family for a year. 120,000 naira for the family. Yeah. Now that means 360,000 naira has been put into that family's purse in a year. And you want to take that away and go and give it to buy petrol. So that is what we're talking about. Nigeria has moved away from that subsidy where somebody say, I'm in oil and gas. People are becoming multi-millionaire when this becomes a fraud system. And somebody wants to take us back there. Please, I beg of you, let's discuss something more important.
No, it's important too. I mean, if people at the top are discussing it, we can't say it's less important. And if Nigerians, the ordinary Nigerians also, like Prof said last time, when little things happen at the top, it trickles down to these innocent poor Nigerians, you know? They said the plantain woman will also increase her price. The granuts, the yam, the plantain, and all of these people will just put up their price because they say the so thing up there. So it's important. It's very, very important. Sir George, you're welcome. Sir George, I hope you're welcome.
Thank you. Viewers from around the world, we want to welcome you to our program today. Yeah, my name is George Chukwudu. We're from Toronto, Canada, and we're going to be giving you the North American perspective on everything we're discussing as a diaspora here in Canada. So I know we are discussing regarding Atiku Abubakar, and him insisting that he will continue, with the fuel subsidy. And listen to this. Number one is, if you don't have anything to offer the country, please go home. You're an old man. go and sleep, or be a statesman that will be advising the younger people how to be able to do certain things that we need to do. See, this type of narrative is something that is so aggravating. You make a mistake, you don't have any campaign promises to make, and then you want to come and regurgitate and bring back a dead man, a man that has been buried for so long, and we are moving on, and you want to come and resurrect the man right now. It doesn't have nothing to do. So the major point is, Atiku Abubakar is proposing to restore a targeted fuel subsidy. Then he must answer some very important questions. Let's not just discard it, but let him answer these questions. Okay, how much would this subsidy cost the Nigerian people every year? Where will the money come from? Who exactly will qualify, and what mechanism will prevent the subsidy from being diverted to wealthy individuals, oil marketers, and political connected interest groups? We saw that many countries were benefiting from Nigerians' fuel subsidy. There were neighboring countries, loads and loads of oil were leaving the country to these places, and they were selling it at a higher price. For years, fuel subsidy has been presented as a policy for the poor. Yet Nigerians repeatedly question who actually benefited from the enormous sums committed to it. We saw it's a scam. So why do you want to bring back the scam? And if you want to bring it back, let us have details of what you plan on doing. Okay, if the argument is that President Tinubu removes a subsidy that was helping ordinary Nigerians while benefiting the rich, then Atiku must demonstrate that his proposed alternative will not recreate the same system under a different name. See, politics is very, very important to us, but for us to be, just going in cycles, you don't know what to say. If you don't have any points to make, step down. Let others who got points to make, let them go forward. Because this particular recycling of policies that is dead. You said you're going to destroy a fuel subsidy. You're not even talking about the application of it. You're just talking about you're going to bring it back. Bring it back now. That means maybe something is happening up here in the old man. I'm so sorry, but the thing is really making me upset when I saw that.
Yeah, it's good. It shows how passionate you are for your country. But George, Dr. Olufemi, while Atiku is also defending his stand, we have that former vice president of the World Bank, Obi Ekwesili, Eze Ekwesili, and she's saying that Tinubu's government is only looking at the microeconomic side of economy. What she means by that, for those that don't understand, is they are looking at the good side, the job, and all of these things on a national scale. They are not looking at
international scale.
Yeah, they're not looking at it from the small scale, and that small scale is what matters. That's what she's saying. That like you people are now very passionate about where you stand on this fuel subsidy, but George and Dr. Femi, millions of Nigerians are suffering. Millions of Nigerians are wallowing in poverty, real poverty. We see it every day. They can't afford. People are dying. People are fainting. People are passing out because they don't have food to eat. We're talking about food now. Now, please don't look at this top level you guys are. Don't look at the 30 million Nigerians probably that are in your class. Look at the 180 million people that are not in any way of shape seeing and having anything out of life as Nigerians. So Obi Ekwesili is almost like backing what Atiku is saying, because she's saying that they are looking, everything is surface. Yeah, that's what, and don't laugh. That woman was World Bank vice president.
She's talking politics.
You've never been a World Bank president.
Hold on, she's talking politics. She's talking politics and she's talking rubbish. Federal government cannot go to the grassroots. If she is so concerned, how concerned is she about local government at the grassroots? How concerned is she about state governors? She's focusing on the federal government, who doesn't have direct contact with local government. If she's really concerned, she be concerned at what is happening at state level. She be concerned at what is happening at the local government level. She is talking rubbish. The typical, how can you talk subsidy will affect? I just explained to you. The people in my village, they hardly travels. So how will subsidy affect them in the village? But if they go to free school and there's good hospital at the local government health center in my village, that is when they will begin to feel the dividend of government and they begin to feel the effect of government. How will subsidy affect the people in my village who doesn't travel?
I just said something.
Obviously, he's talking rubbish. Typical rubbish he talks.
Don't say rubbish.
Okay,
How can the federal government affect local government? She should be talking about local government and state governments.
Sorry, let me before they let's also.
I think Massive Mark, you're the one that confused him. You're the one that confused him.
Sorry, please. Femi Oke is here. It's good we acknowledge his presence. Femi Oke, go ahead. How are you?
Okay. Sorry, I'm late. Let me respond quickly, okay?
But he didn't hear me. I need to say that again. I just said that, Dr. Femi, people on ground, BD was telling us how when there is a small increase, a €1, 1 cent increase in fuel, the woman selling akara adds money. The woman selling pop-off adds her money. The woman selling guguru and epa adds money. So you don't say how can that affect the people in my village. That's what they told us, that these same people are the one that makes up the fabrics of Nigerian economy, and they add money when there is that increase. Go ahead, George.
Okay. There is absolutely no reason why any intelligent individual in Nigeria today will be talking about bringing back the fuel subsidy. Nobody that in their right mind, based on what the findings we have said. Nigerians have had promises before, like what article is saying. This time, show us the mathematics, okay? The funding mechanism and the accountability framework is what we need to say. Compassion for the poor is important, but the poorly designed subsidy can ultimately make the poor poorer. And we've seen it before. So let's leave the subsidy. Now, let's talk about what Obio was saying. What is good is macroeconomic stability. We look good outside. We talked about this before. She just regurgitated some of the things we have said. Somebody brought the point before. But what good is macroeconomic stability if it makes the president look good internationally while the common man is suffering in Nigeria? That's exactly what you were just saying that our beloved Billy was saying. When people are selling their kidneys to survive and destroying pavement to sell scrap iron, what is that really doing? What we want is microeconomy, so that the common man will feed. We know that it's taking a little too long for this to take place. Yes, indeed, a lot of people are going through hell in Nigeria. Anybody denying that must not be, unless you're on the wrong side of the equation. We know that a lot of people are going through a lot. We know that inflation has, destroyed a lot of things in Nigeria. But the only thing we are asking is time enough for this thing that is on top to drop down so people can start feeling the microeconomic benefits. It started from outside, but that outside, we see it booming. We see Germany signing contracts with Nigeria. We see our president traveling all over at the early part of his administration, making contacts with different countries, signing MOUs with different countries, and we see the benefits slowly coming in. And this is the way that eventually it will drop down so that the common man will feel the impact of the good microeconomy. So we know that a lot of people are going through a lot now, but it takes time. But that's all I'm going to say for now.
All right.
Let me allow my other people to say something.
Yes, Femi, okay, go ahead. I see you're nodding your head there.
So we live in Nigeria is a federation of 36 states and FCT. So when the people ask what's done with the subsidy savings, it has gone to the 36 states and the 784 local governments. So therefore, the question shouldn't be at President Timbu, how have you sorted out the microeconomics? Because the presidency deals with the macro. The micro is to be felt at the local and state government level. So if Obisikele or anybody else who's screaming wants to scream, they should scream first at their state governor. And I believe that that's where the problem lies, because the state governors have had 4 or 5 times what they were earning before. So because of subsidies now, they're getting 4 times what they were getting before. And most of the inputs at the local level is done in Naira. You know, if you need to feed someone in the local level, you're not having to import to feed them. Yeah. So what I feel the failing is of the state governors to put in place strong enough agricultural policies to say, you know what, as a state, we're going to find out what are the staple foods of the people within Ogun State, Imo State. Every state is different. Okay. Then make those particular staples affordable and abundant. It doesn't matter whether people in Oshun don't have it, but in your particular state, make it affordable and abundant. So what policies have they put in place to allow that to happen? That's one. Then 2, you know, at the end of the day, it's locals who have to. I feel that the numbers that Obisikele and other people are talking about, they're talking about multi-dimensional poverty. They're not talking about people who are hungry and people who are in poverty per se. And what does multi-dimensional poverty mean? That means people who don't have access to electricity, people who don't have access to water, people who don't have access to education. I can have no access to electricity, but I'm full up and I'm hungry, and I'm not hungry. I'm over full. If you come to my village, you see that my belly is like Kendu. You understand? But I don't have electricity. I don't have water. I can't send my kids to school. You understand? But food is not my problem. So we should be careful when we start banding these figures out and saying everybody's hungry, everybody's hungry. Most people are not actually hungry. In fact, the ones who are likely to be hungry are those who have left their villages and migrated to the city. And when they got to the city now, there's a limited number of jobs. So therefore, they're likely to be hungry. Someone in the village is likely to go to the farm or go to his neighbor or go to his storage and get food. And the food there is so much more cheaper. So we need to really recalibrate this thing properly and say, and I don't believe that it's the job of the federal government to feed anybody.
Okay.
It's not even, it's not even the job of the state government to feed anybody. But what they need to do is put policies in place to make food available abundantly and affordable.
Thank you. We hear you.
By the way, Massive Mark.
Yeah.
Let's be careful about talking about, when we're talking about the government and the election right now, we're talking about political parties. Somebody once was saying, when Tinubu was blaming, his predecessor, and they reminded him and said, sir, you are part and parcel of APC. That 8 years was you plus Buhari and the rest of APC members. So even the same manner, when we are talking about state governments, how many state governments are APC today? So when we're talking about that, we gotta be careful, because one finger might be pointing out there while 4 is pointing back at us. So we gotta be careful about that. That's what I'm trying to say here. Because when we're saying, oh, state government, how many state governments are APC? It is majority. So if it is, we're talking about the state government is the failure of APC, the majority government. So that's what we gotta be careful about. The bottom line is we cannot have what you call a hair-splitting argument when it comes to the poverty that is in Nigeria and people that are suffering. People literally are suffering in Nigeria. I didn't believe that until I went home during Christmas and I spent almost more than a month there, different parts of Nigeria. And today it is still the same. So let's not go and throw away, the baby with the bathwater or say, but you can't argue. That's hair-splitting argument when you say, oh, people are not really hungry. Yes, they are. There are so many things happening in the country today that if you come to find out about it, you yourself living in London will be like, whoa, when that reality hits you. So let's not deny that.
All right.
Can I come out? There's a massive misinformation going about when it comes about poverty and hunger in Nigeria. There's a massive information. We are using the Western index of calculation of who is in poverty. We're using it as for Nigeria, which is wrong. Like Femi just said, it is possible you not to have access to basic things of life. That is seen as poverty in the Western world. But you are not hungry. But you might have food and not have those basic things. And most of this, we are hungry. For example, I just gave you an example of my village. My village has abundant food. But they cannot even export what they have. They can't bring it out because they don't have a means of bringing it out. And they eat what they produce in the village. And what happens is that marketers go into that village to go and buy those things and bring it back. And let me tell you, one of the things that we, the elite, is doing in not helping Nigeria is this. Now, I give you an example. There was one skin that was there on TV. A guy was going around and was asking, he was holding $1. I was holding 20,000 naira. Do you know that many people were asking for the $1? They want the $1 as a 20,000. $1 is 1,300 something, 400 something naira, and they don't want 20,000 naira because this misinformation, dollar. They don't know what the dollar is, and what they are doing is they are using it based on dollar, and they are quoting that as a. And I want to tell you this. When we talk about this, price has gone up, price has gone down. The money they make from these prices that have gone down, is it going to government? It's going to private pocket. The problem is that Nigerians are exploiting ourselves in the interest, in the name of things are going high. We need to exploit ourselves, and we do it wickedly, and therefore we do not look at the boomerang effect. For example, the prices of oil, petrol went up to 1,000 or something. It came back to 700. The price of transportation refused to go down. Is that government? It is us. We need to begin to look at what is making this happen. Because the rhetoric from the elite is that, everybody is hungry. And the thing is this, most of the people that are hungry, are they looking for what will make them not to be hungry? Like as I just says, the challenge there is this. There's a social orientation that needs to be done by the government. And this, I will take it to the federal government now and go to the state government. This orientation. The thing is, this beggar circumstance should be stopped. Everybody wants to beg for anything. People don't want to do anything but to beg from others. People stay on the street and start begging for people that have cars on the road. And because the thing is, they are not working. They don't want to work. Give them a job. They want to steal everything you have. Give them a job. They will steal things from your car. Does that make them not hungry? It is not about being hungry. I've told you about businesses we start before. People come to the business, they get salary. It's not about the salary. What they want to, they start stealing what you are producing. They start stealing it. It's a social orientation we need to do in Nigeria as a people.
Dr. Femi,
it is not about poverty. It is bad behavior. Some people come over to this country from Nigeria. They will start doing those bad things they are doing. They start doing those things here. Let's say everything is running. They start doing it. Is that poverty? It is bad behavior.
Let me remind our viewers again. We have them here. Our viewers, it's Monday. It's tense now. But this shows the passion we have for a better Nigeria.
Okay. So, I agree with Dr. Femi to a great degree of what he just said. But also, I want to remind you, Dr. Femi, I'm going to quote our president. The box stops at his table. Do you understand? And I hope you understand what I'm saying. Because when it was Jonathan, that's exactly what he said. The box stopped at the president's table. It doesn't matter what the macro or micro is doing, the box stops at their table. So what you are saying is 100% correct. We have been morphed into a people with a beggarly mentality to the point whereby the narratives is consumed by a lot of people. They don't even want to do anything. They don't even want to not innovate anymore. They want a few people have. They say that necessity is the mother of invention, and you've seen a few people who saw the opportunities because of certain things that are happening, and they are making money out of it. So I agree with you to that point. For instance, a few months ago, We saw where a lot of young people were going, destroying roads and destroying properties in order to get metal. And we cried out on this channel. And we said that the government needs to look into it and look out for those people and try to get them and punish a few of them so that their fear will come to other people. But now, all of a sudden, we saw on the platform today what is happening. What I think that should happen is when we see these things happening, yes, indeed, because the federal government is so powerful that when the president speaks, subsidy is gone. Did not mean that subsidy was supposed to die instantly, but we saw the reaction of the nation and brought economic chaos to the whole entire nation. When he announced that subsidy is gone, intelligent countries would have been, okay, when is it going to be gone, President? Because we haven't even taken office yet, but we saw what happened. Just simply because the man said subsidy is gone. I'm going to get rid of subsidy. Doesn't mean that I have already done it or have signed the paper to do it, but this is exactly how powerful the president's speech is. So what we are asking the president is, when we see and report some of these things that are destroying our infrastructure, let's bring out a group of defense people who will go after these people, capture a few of them, publicly, make sure that they face the justice, and then go to jail if need be. That will put the fear on others. Then if we continue to report and know nothing is done, and that's why all our money goes into fixing roads, and these hoodlums will go over there destroying the infrastructure that we're putting money into, and then we're going to turn around and blame the government. We want the government to please go after these people because they are stealing government infrastructure.
Thank you. Viewers, you're welcome. Those that are just joining, once again, Excellence is here. Excellence, happy. Thank you. Dr. Femi, you agreed to what George said, those words of the subsidy, the way it was announced. We've said this several times here.
I said it. He has said it before, and he kept saying it. He knows Nigeria very well. If he announces the subsidy is going to go tomorrow or next week Monday, before he will not remove it today, because what will happen is every Dick and Harry, that useless social organization, they will go on the street, riot starts, and then nothing happened, and they will still be in that mess today. He knows the system very well.
Also, Nigeria, we need to learn something. We see how, Dr. Femi, you're in the West. We see how things run smooth. And
we are not West. We are not West. Stop saying that. We are not West.
We are West.
We are not the West. Nigeria is not the Western nation. Nigeria is not the Western nation.
You don't listen. You need to calm down and understand what I speak. I'm not saying Nigeria is the West. I say me and you, we're in the West, where you live in London and I'm here. So it's a Western society. The style of civilization here. Now, communication between government and the people matters. It happens here. You see that. Now, even if the man is going to do the subsidy today and say today, there should be this communication, sensitization of the people, making the people understand. These people here go around with loudspeakers. Do you know they go around with loudspeaker explaining what might happen, what the government plans to do?
I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
You disagree. And now this is what is causing all the
I disagree with you. He has said, the president said
you cannot disagree when you saw what that announcement made.
The president, listen, you have not listened to what he said.
Listen to this. No. You see, you are defending. You are not explaining. You are defending. What we are saying is, listen to me. Listen.
Yeah.
When the president got on the podium, understanding the power of the president's speech, he could have done it a little differently. One of the first things that I would do when I get it, after assuming in the office, I would deal with this fuel subsidy and I will remove it. But when you come and say subsidy is gone, that was the wrong thing, and I don't care. Even if you come from heaven
that is your opinion. That's your opinion. That is your opinion. When you become president of Nigeria, do it that way.
Look at the results. Look at the results.
The result.
Are you denying the results?
Listen, Sir George.
When
Sir
somebody
George.
makes a mistake,
Sir
admit it.
Nigeria, let me tell you, I will give you analysis. Nigeria is a nation that has a broken leg that we have been giving paracetamol. What President Tinubu did was the first day he came, took that Nigerian leg with a broken leg into the theater to operate. Two things there. One, the government before did not do appropriation for subsidy to continue. That is number one. There was no appropriation. So the government before had already removed that they are not paying that. Secondly, 27 states were borrowing money to pay salary. You want him to continue and say, we'll do it tomorrow. Thirdly, if he had said he will do it next month, social organization and Nigeria Labour Congress will have gone on the street and Nigeria will have gone upside down.
It doesn't matter.
But it is rather we go through this process that Nigeria never move forward.
Do the same thing and say he will maintain his stance. Because
we are not maintaining any stand. He has removed it. When you become president, Sir George, do it one by one.
There are some policies that are not popular. There are some policies that are not popular. But
you don't need to be popular.
So listen to me. Listen. He made a mistake, admit it, and let's move on.
He did not make a mistake. He had explained it.
Yes, he did the right thing the wrong way. He did the right thing the wrong way. The application was completely wrong.
I don't care. He said it again.
Again, what he did was the wrong way. He applied it the wrong way. And he brought change to the nation.
That is your opinion.
No, look at the results.
What results? What results? Listen, Sir George, let me explain what we are talking about subsidy. Let me explain something about subsidy. Subsidy. We are borrowing money to subsidize. We are borrowing. We don't have the money to subsidize. Oh, we are borrowing money to subsidize. So we want the government to continue to borrow money to subsidize.
Dr. Fleming, when you are reacting, you don't sound reasonable. Let me tell you something, okay? I agree with you that subsidy needed to be removed. And most of the the president, people that were campaigning for the office of the president agreed that subsidy needed to be gone. I agree. All I'm saying to you is president in his reacting made a mistake when he announced subsidy is done without being in the office, without studying the situation, without applying cushion that will safeguard the people before applying it. It was wrong. And I don't care how long
did you hear yourself?
Chaos was so bad.
Did you hear yourself? 27 state government cannot pay salary. 27 state government.
Sorry, I had to mute you guys. We've lingered too long on this. It always brings passion, I know. Excellence Happy says he should have provided cushion. Exactly what we're saying. I mean, that's just what we're saying. Basically, excellence, thank you. That's simple word for what we're trying to all say here. Let's go on to some other issues. Sorry, you have to unmute you now. The Bar Association, Nigerian Bar Association, is having its annual general conference, and one man that is there is the former president of Liberia. That's George Weah, footballer, and he made a speech, a very pronounced, strong speech. He said, "A tyrant with certificate of return is still a tyrant." He's talking to all presidential candidates in Nigeria and also the presidency, the office of presidency in Africa. Gentlemen, it's a problem we have truly that some presidents become tyrants when they come to office. Like we're saying here, carry the people along. Yes, they will protest. They need to protest if they have to protest. Some people need to protest. Some people need to make petition and all of that. That's governance. You don't come and impose things on people and just hit people and plunge them into poverty and suffering, because you're a president. So George, what will you say about?
Well, I think it's a powerful warning from George Weah, what he's saying, but I don't think he was talking about Nigeria. He must be talking about some of these countries that the military are ruling. Democracy is not just about winning an election. It is about respecting the rule of law, independent institutions, and the people's rights. A certificate of return does not mean for you to go back and become a tyrant. We don't have that in Nigeria. We have the rule of law in Nigeria. I don't believe, I have not seen our president being a tyrant, trying to manipulate or, muscle anybody to do something. I don't see that. So I think generally he was talking about places like Cameroon, for instance, where the man refused to sit down. Rwanda, and some of these other places. So that's what I think. But it's a good warning too. It's a good warning. You know, a good speech like that, it ought to be taken care of. You know, I mean, we have to pay attention to it. But I don't think he's particularly talking about Nigeria. I don't see my president as being a tyrant in any way whatsoever.
All right.
I think the man respects democracy. Thank you.
I think, like you said, I want to concur with Sir George. He was talking about the Africans that are exactly those who are changing the constitution to suit themselves. And they come in there and they change constitution and they come. And for example, look at Rwanda. He's been in government 26 years now or 27 years now. He's been in government. And what he's done is that he's changed constitution many times so that he's the only one. And also, I was reading an article about a week ago about him. Do you know that most of his opposition in Rwanda had gone missing or they have died mysteriously in Rwanda? And nobody is talking about it because he's the friend of the West. You are muted, you are muted, Mark. So most of his opposition in his country have gone missing or they've died mysterious death.
Yes,
because they're friend of the West, nobody sees anything there. He's contesting and changing the constitution for him to recontest and contest and recontest, and most of the time he just win 90%. So he gets certificate of return, but he's a tyrant.
He's a tyrant.
Dr. Femi, he is a puppet for the West. That's the proper word.
Okay, that's
puppet.
That's the word. Okay.
Not friend. Puppet. For the West. Because he do, you know, what does he do? They are bidding. Whatever they tell him to do, he applies it. Therefore, he can change the rule and change the policies many times and remain right there, as if nobody else is as intelligent as he is. He's just a puppet. And let me tell you what happens to puppets. What happened to Iraq president? You remember? The Egyptian president? You remember? Most of those were puppets. When their use was done, they would turn against them and eliminate them. Simple. He's just a puppet.
He's a puppet.
Unfortunately, that's the correct term.
Somebody says he lacks mind civilization. Okay, gentlemen, I'll just run through this. Today looked like we had the angel of death came very strong. 7 people died along the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road this morning. And as we were talking about that, 9 people again were killed in the Katigi Mokwa, that's in Niger State. 9 also feared dead. It was an overloaded Mazda car, and it all died. Everybody in the car went away, plus the driver. While we were still talking about that also, Osun is still having the aftermath of the election. We had this morning multiple deaths. We don't have the number now, but violent clashes were all over Ikare in Osun State, and Ede and some other communities. And they say it's transport union members and political thugs. So angel of death. I mean, too many deaths in one day. We don't like this. Sir George, what do we do to also begin to reduce? We know accidents happen in every country. In fact, more disastrous accidents. But sometimes the Nigerian case it just shows ignorance and carelessness. I mean,
people, people are just doing what they want when they want it. That's not good. You know, I mean, we don't expect President Tinubu to leave Aso Rock and come to the streets and start telling people, please drive slowly. We have intelligence, for goodness sake. So all of a sudden, we want the president to come and scoop rice out of the plate and put it in our own mouths. You know, you see, what I'm saying is this. You know, we have a nation where we are supposed to have a level of intelligence, a level of discipline that is supposed to affect the next person. Like what Dr. Femi was just saying a few minutes ago, we have become so wicked that you call them evil servants, you call them evil neighbors, you call them evil this and evil that. These people that are destroying pavements and all that kind of thing, they are evil people. How can you even do that? The love of people are watching so cold in that country. I don't know what to do because the president can mean so well, release money. Let me tell you something that is going on right now. The federal government will release money to pay university professors. Do you know what happened? The money has been released, but these people will not be paid for 6 solid months. Somebody will take that money and lodge it to an account yielding interest. After a few months, they will release some and release some. These are evil people. So the job is the federal government now going to take a whip of Koboko, go start chasing these people. We need to find out who are doing this evil, take them through the law, and if they mess up, put them in jail. We need to rebaptize Nigeria and sanitize that nation. We're complaining about the government, but if people are doing worse than what the government can even think of doing, talk about doing it. We need to wake up to one another's love, be our neighbor's keepers. These things are so bad. Somebody will go and take a or take a meth and start driving or drinking and driving. We need to stop this.
All right, thank you, George. Strong there. Let's come to the one interesting thing that happened this morning again. Beijing had the robot game. Imagine having like an Olympics, but it's all robots, everything, and full stadium, not small number. Robots everywhere. I watched the live show. The world is coming to that point now. Robotics, that's taking over. Dr. Femi, Nigeria should also be encouraging young people into learning where the world is leading now, where the world is going.
They are.
Yes, I know some institutions are doing it, but there are stories of young people that want to do this and nobody is supporting them. Nobody is carrying them along, and even when they do it, it goes nowhere. There could be some young people that could put those machines together, and where does that take that person to?
Yes, there are talents here and there who may want to go into that area and all the stuff. But the thing is because not just because there are robots working up in China or in Beijing and all the stuff that we should not just jump into that era. Are those relevant to our society? I would say most of the answer is no. Our scientists should focus on what is relevant to our society so that our society will buy into it and then we begin to grow. We shouldn't be doing because they are making robots in China. We want to make robots in if you can make robot that will pluck mangoes without somebody climbing the mangoes, fine. Make it relevant to your society and to the needs of people around you. Not that robot, but the sake of robot that will be putting hand up and down. And then if it is relevant, you see people will buy into it. One of the challenges I find is that one, the Ministry of Technology is hardly at work. Ministry of Technology and Science and Technology is not focused on what you focus on. It should be focused on look at what are the relevant things in our society that when we make those products, it will be relevant for it. For example, if there was a time that most of the grinding machine that we have in Nigeria were imported, but during the deep-free era, people went to manufacturing of grinding machine of different shapes, different sizes, and that became business for them. We should also look at that. There was a time during the deep-free era that people were converting downforce, our combi bus, into vehicles that has radiator, and that is what we begin to do to be relevant to our society. Our focus will not just because they are doing in the West, we must do it. We must look at science and technology that is relevant to our time. What can somebody sit down somewhere and do IREV that will identify people's faces and therefore all of a sudden bring all their information out without even anybody typing anything to it? Can somebody look into that? Can somebody look into production of chips that we can put into a phone that will bring every information out? Look at those are the things we should be focusing, not because they are doing it. Yes, congratulations to the Chinese and Beijing society for what they are doing. But that is not what we should be focusing. We should focus on what is relevant to us, that will sell to at least 100 million Nigerians and you become multi-millionaire. But if you do something that will be relevant to the Western world, they will patent it, they will buy and patent it and give you 100,000 naira and say, go and sit down.
Well,
that's a good one. That's a strong one.
I think that he's spoken well. I think it is true. You see, because China is doing humanoid robots to compete. About 2,000 of them. Even one of them, I saw they ran faster than Usain Bolt. Some of them were they were fighting. But sometimes they will be hitting the air because they don't see the individual they're fighting. They're trying to perfect it. Yes, you mentioned something about being able to have the since we're having a food basket, people are being displaced. Maybe we can find some robots that can cultivate our grounds because they don't get tired. Maybe we can find some robots that can be used as security because you can be monitoring your whole house with these robots walking around. When they detect individual, they will raise it up an alarm. So we can do that. And then what you just said is if robots can climb the tree and plug down mangoes and all those type of things without, risking somebody climbing there to, and falling and dying. These are the things we can look into. There are so many things. Instead of having a security person paying these police officers to come and, take you here or there, we can use robots or security officers because somebody can be somewhere monitoring all these things. And, so these are the things that I agree with you 100%. There are so many things we can be looking into. Because now, in most parts of California, people are no longer driving. You go there now, taxi drivers, they're driverless taxi drivers. You get it? Already where you're supposed to be going, they take you there, they drop you, they thank you, and you move on. So robots are coming. But China is trying to show us, they're trying to flex their technological muscles to show us, many things can be replaced in the future by these robots. But, so we applaud them.
Yes, we applaud them. Thank you, George. George, from your end there is this Nigerian man, very noble Nigerian, Bola Abimbola. Bola Abimbola passed away, and they will be burying him. Did you hear that news from Canada?
Yeah, I did hear that. But I didn't get the details about what actually happened to him. But our condolences to the family because we just came from Bajabi, Abike Dabari, they were all here with us. We all ate amala together and all that stuff. It was wonderful. I enjoyed the presence of them here. It was a fantastic thing that we did locally here. It was really, really amazing. So, but anyway, one thing that I wanted to point, before somebody else speak is I want to talk about, the new people that are appointed to head our president's, campaign council.
Yes.
There was one lady there that I want to please, Dr. Femi, okay, please let us to don't allow Ngozi whatever what's her name, Olejeme, to be in that council. That woman is not a good person. Please, we need to remove her. Thank you. And I wish she will hear this thing that I am actually calling for her to be removed from that particular position. She's not a good person. If you want a replacement, go and get Dr. Femi to come, or Femi, okay, or bring me to come and replace whatever her name is. Anyway.
All right. Anyway, thank you very much, George. Femi, I see your mouth moving there. We know how it is in Europe. You have to do your thing, and food has to come in along the line while you're moving and all of that. So, bon appetito, as we say. Let's crop it up with the story of what they say might happen. Nigerians, those listening from Nigeria, they said there will be violent, there will be some real strong thunderstorm, Plateau State, Benue State, Enugu, and across the rivers. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency is warning that it's going to be some heavy downpour and thunderstorm from today till probably the end of the week. So we're also giving that announcement so our people can hear. Those of you that are living in Nigeria.
Yeah, the problem I have with emergency services is we don't plan. So they've known that, there's going to be thunder, there's going to be a lot of rain this year. The knowledge has been there. But what they should be doing, they should be creating dams and dikes and channels to divert the water away from where, habitable and, built up areas to areas where the water can be harvested and used in the dry season. You understand? We're just not doing it. How many dams are we building? You understand? Everything is always at the federal government. But states, local governments should be building earthen dams to trap this water so that they can have, all year round farming. So there's a lot of things that we're not doing. And if they do them, that will reduce the pressure on the price of food and make the cost of agriculture much more affordable. But at the end of the day, when you have people who are in ministries and their knowledge is limited, and the evil servants within the ministries are clueless, then you see why things are not moving. So it only takes someone like when you've got people like Ojo in the Ministry of Interior. Look at what he's doing compared to Arek Beshola. Arek Beshola was there for 8 years. He couldn't do anything. Ojo is a young boy, and look what he's doing in the Ministry of Interior. You've also got, look at the Minister of Defense, Chris Musa, what he's doing. Look at David Umahi, what he's doing in the Ministry of Works and so on. So, you've got to get the right people that know what they're talking about and are flexible, have got the mindset to achieve and be, because at the end of the day, it's about achieving results. We look at the Minister of Blue Water. I don't remember seeing him on the TV, but he was most probably, doing all what he needed to do behind the scenes in Osun elections, which he failed miserably. So why is he still there? Such people need to be away from their positions. So when we have, predictions of doom and gloom of things of, natural disasters and whatever, how do we take advantage of those disasters and put it in the favor of Nigeria? I mean, look at what's happening in Canada with wildfires everywhere, in Europe and whatever. We should be thankful we're not having all these things in Nigeria. So, but what are we doing with what God has blessed us with?
Well, by the way, this past weekend we had a very powerful cultural event. It was so wonderful, and it was happening. It's an African event, cultural event that was taking place. But rain came and destroyed it. As a matter of fact, one of the gubernatorial candidates for Imo State under APC, Honorable Chief Charles Ore, was supposed to come to that particular event, just to honor the people there. But what happened was the rain did not, allow him to come. Most of us were there as his members, but these are the things, but everybody knew that it was going to rain, but we were praying that it didn't rain. We stopped the rain for a little bit, but it started again and came with a vengeance and destroyed the whole entire event. So I think that we need to, basically, when we hear things like this, we need to instruct people, because if you go to Florida today, anytime such storms or tsunami was supposed to come, you see people taking charge. They're blocking their businesses, their homes. Some people will even leave and go and stay in hotels until the storm is over, so that there'll be not too many casualties. These are the things we need to do. So when whatever area that we know is going to affect them more, we just make announcements and warn people, tell them what to do. Because a lot of people will panic and they wouldn't know what to do. So we can actually instruct them. These are the things you need to do to prevent yourself. So if you go to Israel today, when there's a bomb, everybody goes underneath, because they know and they're prepared on the ground. So these are things I think we should be doing in order to help people to reduce casualties.
And that's what you guys are doing through the network. And somebody helped Femi while Femi was speaking. Excellence said that's what he called round peg in square holes. I think he wanted to write square holes. Yeah. Arek Beshola was an interior minister, but he did nada. And the young man there now is just pulling real good weights, doing things. Gentlemen, we have to go. It's an hour's program and it's been beautiful. Dr. Femi has given us some great insights here now.
Yes. Femi, okay. It's good to Dr. Femi, I missed you Friday. And I was inviting you specifically I was telling all our listeners to make sure that you come back, to write you directly to come back. Tell you, okay, it's good to have you. Next time you come to Canada.
I was on the motorway. I was on the motorway when we have that. So the accident, you're talking about the accident also. There was an accident in London also.
Yes.
In England also. 7 people were killed in the accident, including 2 policemen. Somebody drive on the wrong side of the road and killed 2 policemen and also 5 people as well. So there was 7 deaths on our road. So I was traveling that motorway. It was a 6-hour travel. And I ended up spending 11 hours on the motorway. So that was why I wasn't able to get online. So I'm sorry.
Thank God.
It's all right.
Thank God you
But
didn't get
Dr.
involved
Charles
in
also, Dr. Charles, if you're listening, make sure you're here on Wednesday because we need you on the other side too. Because it seems like APC members are all here. Me, Dr. Femi,
talking about the APC presidential campaign team. You guys didn't notice that Betta Edu, the young lady that was the humanitarian officer, she's in that team. That means Tinubu believes in her. She has something to offer. She's there. She's
beautiful now. Wouldn't you put her back? Wouldn't you put her back?
I thought she was a victim. She was a victim of evil servant. She was a victim of evil servant. They went after her big time.
But during that last campaign, 2023, she was very, very effective. She
was very effective.
So I would have put her. When I was talking about Olejede or whatever her name is, I didn't mention her, but I know she was there. So to me, I applaud the president for seeing a beautiful face like that, a young and beautiful young lady, and putting her back because wherever she goes, she will represent our president well with her beautiful face.
And besides that, she's a very intelligent woman, very intelligent and versatile woman.
She's a doctor. She's a doctor.
I applaud the president for that. Remove the other one. I mentioned her name. Remove her.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We will come back Wednesday. Femi, thank you for being around.
Thank you.
Dr. Femi, Sir George, with all the passion. It's beautiful. And maybe soon you guys will be getting appointments. Stay tuned. Yes.
I'm working on Dr. Femi. Dr. Femi, when they call you, you better take me with you.
My appointment is with the Lord.
No. Government appointment is good too. You're still having
you can represent the Lord there.
God wants orderly governance, government people. I mean, if you have the fear of God and you're in government, that's all. That's the best.
Because the fear of God will chase away evil servants.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. All right, gentlemen. So see you, arrivederci. See you.
All right, guys. Peace out. Yeah.
Thank you, viewers. This is it. We've been here an hour now, and it's been Between the Lines, Monday program, Between the Lines, SSM. So till we come again your way on Wednesday, have a beautiful week. Good. August still running. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.